Hello, and welcome to Kickin' and Crocs, the podcast. We talk about martial arts stuff, geeky stuff, and I feel like an evil villain petting this cat.
This is our guest tonight, my cat, Reese's Pieces.
And she knows it. She knows it. She's
Mm-hmm.
in the zone. She is in the
We do
Enjoy
need a guest,
yourself.
though. It's been a while since we had a guest. We got to get a guest back on.
We do need to get a guest, but for now, Reese's will have to do.
Kelsey!
Hey, we'll get her. She made it like a little
We got
bit of
headless
a
Kelsey.
cameo. Yeah, she appeared on camera in the last podcast episode.
I
so-
really thought we got her.
Yep, no, but her head was cut off, unfortunately. It
I'm
stopped.
Dave, the other half of Kickin'
Oh,
and
shoot,
Crocs.
that's right. Hi, I'm Steve.
He said that, and then
I
he
did
went on
say
about
that.
petting my cat.
And
Sorry.
awkwardly. And I'm Nick the Shadow Hat.
Awkwardly.
Welcome to Kicking in Crocs, the podcast.
Where we talk about martial arts, geeky stuff, and
It's okay,
all sorts of
Reese's.
stuff.
All
You make
sorts.
those biscuits.
All sorts.
Make those biscuits. That's a girl.
She's
Well, hello,
getting
gentlemen.
better today. How are you?
I'm good. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing very well, actually. I'm very happy because today, the first thing that we're going to be addressing is the winner of our martial arts tournament bracket. So if you have not finished...
No. Martial arts movie.
Oh, martial arts movie. Yes, I'm sorry.
Let's
My
be
apologies.
clear
My apologies.
here,
Yes.
sir.
Martial arts action movie tournament bracket. So if you did not finish last week's episode, then please finish it
Spoiler
Pause
alert.
right now and finish it.
and
Yep.
then come back.
So who were our two finalists?
The finalists
We
were
know Bloodsport
and Ip Man.
and Ip Man.
Bloodsport and Ip Man.
Correct.
And then you, Steve, posted the option for people to vote for who they recommended, right? Who they thought was the best.
I did, because you two
Kelsey, you want to be our guest?
could not come up with who won. You guys were divided.
5 more episodes,
let's see,
baby, then you're on here.
Okay, well, I can't
You
cross
gotta
talk.
do it for
Hang
me.
on.
All right,
I'll wait
go
for it
on.
to be done. Okay, there he is. Okay, so you were voting for Ip Man, if
Yes.
I'm correct, and Dave was voting for Bloodsport. So Nick was for Ip Man,
Both
Dave was
are
for
great.
Bloodsport. Both
And
are
I did get
amazing.
some.
They are the finalists, so that makes a lot
Jordan.
of sense.
Jordan was listening.
Oh, good.
Wait, I don't know if he listened, but he definitely
Saw
voted.
the vote.
He voted, and he was at the front desk going, "Let me tell you, I voted for this." And then I'm like, "No."
Oh, goodbye, Reese's.
That means he voted for it, man. Because you're saying no. That means he did not go with the Bloodsport. Again, either choice would have been great. I think it was Bots was saying that
I
he
scolded him because he
liked
said
Bloodsport.
I scolded him because he was like, "I like Donnie Yen. He does the Star Wars." I said, "It wasn't about the actor though. It was about the movie."
About the movie. Yep, not
But
the
anyway.
actor, the movie.
Well, but remember, everybody can find their own reason
No,
why
they
like
can't.
it. Sure they can. You can't tell somebody why they
Yes,
vote.
I can.
You
If we're voting on movies, not actors. All right, go on.
Anyways, so did you guys see how were you guys
I am
take a
aware.
look at? Oh, I know that you voted in the poll.
I voted.
Nah.
He
and I-
voted in the poll.
Why? I didn't vote. It's us. We can't vote.
Yes, we can.
I didn't vote. So that's cheating. No.
Well, I will just in my head add one vote to Ip Man
Mm-hmm.
for Nick. Unfortunately, it does not change the
No.
outcome.
Yeah.
Bloodsport is the winner of the martial arts
son.
action
Congratulations.
movie
Good win,
bracket.
good win.
And I wholeheartedly agree with this because that is one of the few in that list that I
Never
did
even
see.
seen it, man. You
No, he
can't-
saw Bloodsport.
No, he hasn't seen it, man.
Yeah, but
So
Of
what?
course he's gonna agree. He
But
hasn't
you-
seen
but
the movie.
Ip Man, I feel, didn't
I know
launch
the concept, and
Ip
I've
Man
seen
didn't
clips.
launch a genre. I feel like Bloodsport launched a genre.
It did.
Man launched Bruce Lee, which launched martial arts
No,
in
no.
the U.S.
Ip Man, the
Stop
real
it.
character.
We're not talking about the real person. We're talking about the movie.
Yeah, come on.
But any event,
Come on.
so that completes our martial arts
No, it's a good
action
movie. I like Bloodsport.
movie bracket. That completes
Two movies
it.
they can still watch.
Yes.
So listen, I thought that the two finalists were like, I think that is how it was meant
We
to be.
still have to
That
do.
is a
We
good
still have
two
to do some
finalists.
Oh, yeah.
movie watching with Steve here.
Yeah, if we learned anything from any of these things we're doing, is Steve needs to watch more kung fu movies or
Yeah,
martial arts
just
movies.
martial
in
arts
general.
movies in general.
Kickboxer,
Kickboxer
Double
is amazing.
Impact,
Which wasn't
American Ninja.
wasn't on here, but
no. Big
The
Trouble in
Last
China,
Dragon, The Last Dragon. We have
Oh,
so
the-
many you have to watch.
Oh, they edited. Oh my God! Come on, what's the bad guy's name? You know it.
In which-
Shonuff? No,
Shonuff.
Shonuff into Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is great looking.
Well, I didn't know.
And he has the verbiage from the movie.
There was going to be a sequel to it, and then what's his face, the guy that played Bruce Leroy, wanted more money, and then ended up getting.
I love that. It's like,
Can't.
dude, stop it! Like you're not famous yet. You were in one good movie, and it was a cult following movie to boot. Like sit down, relax, make a couple films where you're popular, and then start asking for the.
So
right
I was
money.
inspired by Steve, and I started playing with Chat GPT
Oh, go for it.
for tournaments.
Okay.
So the first thing I thought was, I am going to do. I was like, oh, let's see if it'll make a. So I did make an action movie star tournament against action movie stars. So I'll just read. We don't have to go through a tournament.
No,
but
no,
I was,
no. Don't.
No,
you
not
waste
the.
it.
This one won't be. What's up?
No, we should do a tournament every time.
Well, tournament, the podcast.
I mean, I guess we could.
Well,
how many
just-
did you make? How many did you make?
I made 2.
Okay.
well,
Well, let's do this.
Let's
then.
do one of them.
Let's
But,
do.
okay, well,
the
I'll
first
explain
one.
what I did. So I did.
Okay.
I was like, so I was playing with to see how good ChatGPT was, and I said, okay, give me an action movie star tournament bracket, like, and it whipped it up. And I said, okay, I wonder. So then I said, can you make a Crocs shoe style tournament? And it pulled an 8-round prelim of different styles of Crocs,
Against
many
each
of
other.
which I own, against each other.
I feel like
And
that.
Kelsey will be the judge.
I feel like this would have to be done right after we do like the crotch.
All of them are
Crocs
gone.
Educational.
So-
You know what? Yeah, I
podcast.
feel like that should be
So
a
wait,
separate
let's
video,
just
right?
right after.
wait. I'm
Separate
just
video,
out of
yeah.
curiosity. First round I own both of those. Second round I own one of those, and you own one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Third round I own neither.
All
Fourth
of-
round I
all of
own.
the viewers are kept in
I
suspense.
own one. Fifth round I own. You own one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sixth round I own.
Do you have the no all terrain? No.
Yes I do.
You have the all terrain. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I thought.
I own one. Seventh. That was sixth round. Seventh round I own.
We're out of
9.
That. We're out of that one.
Eighth round I own.
What is the one that he has on now? What is
One.
that? What
2.
is he-
I own 2.
What is he wearing right now?
Those are.
I got the
not
Croc
on the list.
loafers.
Those are
Oh,
Croc
it's not-
loafers.
I thought I was okay. Got it.
The
Okay.
Revival Clock.
All right. All
Clog.
right. So you've got a pretty decent
I
amount.
got
but
a lot of
Well,
those.
you don't have enough. I mean, Kelsey's missing a couple, so I'm just.
What
Yeah.
I am
The
tempted
only
to
way
do.
the only way to really be able
What
to
I
vote.
am-
You just waved at
This
me. with
the only way to
the-
really vote
Well,
for this is to
explanation
have
over
all
Well,
of them
that's what I
and
said. What
try
I
all
am
of
tempted to
them.
do is buy
Yes.
every Croc on this list that I don't own,
Yes.
and then do the actual
just to
competition
actually be
presenting
able
the
to
Crocs.
do it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I only have to buy 1, 2, 3, 4 more pairs. 4 more pairs.
Her face.
My wife is
shielding
staring me
you.
down.
For those audio listeners, you could hear the anger coming through it. If you feel your vehicle shaking, that is the appropriate
That is
sound.
Kelsey. Sorry, Mr. Botts.
So
Sorry.
4 more pairs from now, we'll do this tournament. I'm going to save this list.
We could have that done by next
Oh.
week. Yeah.
I'm gonna save
next
this list.
week.
If anybody would like to purchase me these Crocs.
You could be at my house, it's fine, but your Crocs. No, no.
Well,
no,
I'm
no,
not. I'm not going to buy the ones that Nick already owns.
No.
How about we do
When
this?
are we gonna start the Wallow Crocs?
How about we do this? I will buy the Crocs that you do not have. That way they will be in
By
my
one,
possession.
Well, one. I am curious, but some of these are. It's going to be
Huh?
good.
And Kelsey will not murder Dave.
I
as
mean, she
just
might
said.
murder
No,
me.
she
but-
might.
She might still murder him anyways, just
I
because.
mean, he's already high on the list, so it's fine.
So yes, I am. I think that's a good idea for
I like the idea.
because I own a lot of them. So
So
But
I
that-
think,
yeah, that could be a
I
separate
definitely
video that
think
we do for
need
sure.
To do like the show about the Croc styles.
Yeah.
Then you have the Crocs, and we do this show,
So like Crocs fashion show.
and we should have a
then-
guest because
and
they
have a
can look at
guest.
them and be like, "Oh, I like this one." I like that
Michaela
one. I like-
Day.
Bring her back. Bring her
We-
back.
we-
Get her
we-
back
yeah.
here.
We need some fresh blood though. We need like a new guest that we haven't had on yet, like somebody I'm married to.
Oh God, here we go.
That would be great.
Is this going to be the whole podcast episode? Just us trying to
I'm just saying.
talk to
I mean, you
Kelsey?
could try to get Nicole. Just kidding.
Nick's
Couldn't
wife?
even get it
No.
out. Nope, not gonna happen. She's not gonna show up. Let's go.
Nicole would be on.
No. If you just turn the camera on without her not paying attention, but then you'd have
Maybe.
to blur out half the screen.
So, anyways, moving on.
We can get Carolyn on.
Oh, without it,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Carolyn.
All right,
she
moving
might,
on.
if you call, she'll show up right now.
So,
right.
so
All right, go.
Moving
we
on. So-
talked about fights earlier.
We did talk about fights. I also have something else after this.
Oh,
too we could
okay.
Talk about,
So
but
you
that's
said
okay. We
Hitman
can
one,
go.
right?
What's that?
no,
No.
Bloodsport
Bloodsport
one.
Good try.
Lo and behold, one Mr. Conor McGregor
Yeah.
Is
Not-
injured.
not fighting. Surprise.
Shocker. such a surprise.
Wow, a good
not
month
fighting
away from the fight.
I just
day.
feel
So
bad.
remember when we were talking about the last fights that you were saying, oh man, I don't know, the Chandler McGregor press conference just got canceled.
Yeah,
like,
and I said
right
it's probably
before
not
it.
going to happen.
It's probably
I said
fight's gonna get
I was
canned.
on record somewhere on this podcast recording. I had said I don't think it's going to happen.
And Michael Bisbee just showed highlights for Conor. I had just watched his latest podcast episode, and then right after that episode, within the hour, they
Shut it
canceled.
down, right? Yeah.
Well,
Terrible.
I mean,
Hate
as
it.
soon as they canceled that press conference, everybody's like, "Oh, this guy's not fighting."
Yeah, no.
Nope.
And they're like, no, don't jump to any conclusions. It's like,
Conor
Bro,
never.
it couldn't be
misses
any
a press
more
conference.
obvious. It couldn't be. That's his whole shtick.
That's it.
His whole
They're
shtick.
trying to say like, oh,
claim
it
to
was a
fame.
work and it was.
personally,
a play
I
on
don't
it.
think this
No.
guy ever fights again.
He doesn't need to. Fight
No, he doesn't need to
anymore.
fight
As long as he
anymore.
doesn't spend every penny he makes.
But I thought it was funny. He put up a tweet about UFC 302 with
Dustin.
was it 302 with Dustin?
That's the one that just happened, right?
The one that just happened. So he put,
Yeah, it was
he put up
Dustin.
a tweet
His
to Dustin
Poirier.
about his week pay-per-view buys, and then Dustin hit him right back about how there's going to be no pay-per-view buys for your fight because you're not
gonna be
fighting.
there. Oh, he said that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love it.
Yeah, it was pretty funny because Dustin hit him back pretty quickly.
He can't
That's
really
cool.
say much right now because he's been out of the game. And again, like you said,
He does it all the time now.
What's interesting?
That's his claim to
though-
fame, though, is trash talking.
What's interesting though is if you look at his training videos, which he was, I'm sure he was.
He
training,
was, yeah, I'm sure he was training.
He lost a lot of that bulk that he built.
Well, he had
over
to.
the
It was a
last
it was a
year.
catch weight.
Yeah,
He had to come down.
There's
He was
no
too heavy.
way. But I'm wondering if that's
So-
the reason he
so
stopped too, 'cause
McGregor
he didn't wanna
tweets-
lose all that weight.
So McGregor
Maybe.
tweeted or X'd or whatever you say these
yeah,
days.
yeah.
He said 500K pay-per-view buys, 302 done, a nothing burger. So then when this fight was canceled, Dustin just hashtag nothing burger, which I thought was
love it.
which I thought was pretty good because you're not fighting, but like
Yeah, talk about a nothing burger. You're selling.
I mean-
no ticket. But even for Dana, like that, like that's tough. That's a tough.
You
push,
can't-
man.
I mean-
Hey man, he went out there in the video and announced what was replacing that main event. He was
No, he always does.
He-
He
up
always
front,
had,
yeah, he
had
just
fu-
did it
no,
right
but
away.
it's like how do you
It
put
just-
so much stock in him now?
Yeah.
Like when you know, I don't think he's gonna fight. again.
unreliable. Yeah,
You just can't get
unreliable
excited
as a
about another
talent.
fight with him
I'm
because
not-
you're like, is he going to back out?
And
again?
like I'm not a fighter,
and he lost
like,
his last 2 return fights, didn't
like
he?
you're not a fighter.
Yes.
Like, I'm not a fighter. You're not a fighter. So
One
it's
because he
you
got
can't
knocked
sit
out
here
there
and
because he
like
broke his shin.
you can't sit here and be like as much as you want. You can't be
I'm
oh that
not-
chicken's not fighting.
No,
because
no,
he's
I didn't
not.
even say that.
No,
I'm
I know what you're saying,
he's- listen, he's still a 2-time world champion.
He's
like, in
not-
2 different categories.
he's
I
not
just don't think he has the
reliable.
desire to need to fight anymore.
And he's not. I mean, you can't market because nobody thinks it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So like when you start seeing like
Well, the
Oh, it's
second you
gonna be-
see McGregor on the name, you're gonna immediately think, now is this one actually going to happen, or is he going
and
to
I
find
felt I feel
another
bad
excuse?
for Michael Chandler because he put 2 years of his career, prime years, on hold.
From his first fight, literally after his first fight, is when he first called out.
He called him out, but he fought several times after that.
He did,
No, but
he,
we're
from
saying
his
that he
first
literally spent
fight,
2 years
Yeah.
getting ready for this.
he
this
was
opportunity.
building up to this.
It's
Well,
just-
no. He spent 2 years not fighting, waiting for this
preparing
fight.
for this fight. That's what
But
I'm
he
saying.
called he called him out in his first fight in the UFC.
Yeah. But what's crazy is that they did not find, and maybe he didn't want one, but they didn't find like a replacement fighter so he can still get the fight on.
No, now Chandler doesn't get to fight at all.
Because
They
here's the
replaced
thing,
that main
even
event
for
entirely.
even for him, too much off the mat, like not fighting. At
Oh, it's
that
been 2
level,
years. Yeah, it's been so long.
And you keep waiting. You're not going to be able to fight anybody.
Well, they
forget,
replaced
forget
so
Conor,
the
nobody.
replacement again is Alex Pereira is fighting again
Okay.
versus Yuri Prohaska, which will be a good fight. But it's interesting that Pereira is stepping up again,
I
Hey
know.
man, he's
and
the
then
guy.
yeah,
He literally is the epitome of, oh, I have to fight again? Okay.
Sounds good.
Let's go.
Yep. Get me
He's
a
like
rep.
Volkanovski. He's like Volkanovski does the same thing.
well, I mean, his last fight he was over real quick.
True.
So,
he didn't
but
take
I'm
any
surprised I
injuries
didn't give it to
then.
Jamal Hill after the controversy with the referee because Jamal Hill was supposed to fight that same night, and that was canceled because Khalil
So this is
Roundtree.
canceled too?
So yeah, so Jamal Hill was gonna fight
Yeah.
Carlos.
Carlos.
That got canceled. Then he was gonna fight Khalil Roundtree. Roundtree took tainted supplements. But it was totally by mistake. He actually has a company that
Oh,
handles it.
okay.
They brought it to his attention.
All right.
And then as soon as they brought it to his attention, he called the UFC and he's like, listen, my
This
company
happened.
just got in
Yep.
contact with me. There might be trace amounts of this within the supplement I took. What are my next steps? What do I do?
Yeah, that's better when you're proactive.
Oh, no,
like
he called- well,
saying, like, this
Good.
is
He has
happening.
actually has a
Honesty,
company that
yeah.
handles his supplements, so it was
Yeah.
supposed to be taken care of, and it wasn't. So he got really on the horn with the UFC. He's like, "Look, this is what's going on." They still suspended him for 6 months because it is what it is.
Well, that's honestly,
But he
that's
came-
not too bad.
No, and he came forward. He was very much like, "I think this is in my, this is what we believe was in the supplements. What do I do?"
Okay, I'm
Man,
glad he
yeah.
came forward, but then you
So-
begin to wonder, like, would they have caught it? Would the trace elements have been picked up? Could he have avoided the 6-month delay?
Yeah,
But
but,
it's good. he did
know,
the right thing. He did the right
He
thing.
did the right because as soon as it was brought to his attention, he did step up and go, "Listen, this is what's going on."
Yep. True.
Um,
Facts.
so
Factual.
it is what it is. But
Well, there you go. Another fight down.
But I was just talking about this the other day. I didn't like Conor McGregor as a person ever, but I used to like his training methodology. So if you see early Conor McGregor, he's always in that long karate stance.
Yep.
And then he did a lot of.
And he was a very heavy counter fighter.
And
Oh,
he
yeah,
did-
yeah. With this is with his
and
left
he
hand.
Did,
Oh,
he
boom.
did a lot
Even
of,
his right. He just knew how to.
but he did a
counter.
lot of offbeat training.
Yeah.
So like he would do, it was Ido Portal. He did movement training, which people made fun of, but I thought was amazing because he was doing movement training. He was doing things that other people weren't. Now it's all the rage.
Yeah.
But back then,
He did it before it was cool.
right, exactly. And then he had that long karate stance. He did a lot more kicking. He did a lot more counter fighting. And then he fought Floyd Mayweather, and his style became very boxing heavy. That changed. And then the other thing that changed is there's actually an interview, the one where he's talking about precision over power.
Yep.
And
I think I've
where he
seen that.
talks about so many fighters, they just bulk up, they put muscle on, and they don't, that's not what's going to win the fight. And he goes into a whole tirade on
He
it.
had the right spots.
And I feel like he's doing the exact thing that he was talking about.
But I think he's bulking up more for a look and for just self.
But
I
he
agree.
but he
Comfort?
talked about
Yeah.
not bulking being a big thing.
Well,
That-
But
his first weight class
I think he said not bulking
was
as a fighter.
bantam.
But not
He was
as a
he was
non-fighter.
he was a very lightweight.
His
fighter
first weight class was
originally.
bantam, right?
It was very light.
I'm
He
pretty
struck.
sure.
I mean, he looked deathly when
Oh
he
yeah,
when he made weight.
Yeah, he was skeletal, and then he won the championship in that weight class, and
I
then he
don't know if it
bumped
was
up.
bantam.
What was
I think
Eddie?
It was just above bantam.
Was it so feather?
Yeah, I think it was feather. I don't
So
think it was
featherweight?
bantam. I think it was just above that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I forgot. Bantam is 135. There's no way he was down at that. But featherweight, he was probably at featherweight, and then he bumped up
Yeah.
and into Eddie Alvarez was in lightweight, right?
Correct.
So then he bumped up
Because
into lightweight.
he took out.
That was the first time I ever watched Conor McGregor fight. Was
Well,
him
Conor
versus Eddie
McGregor was
Alvarez.
remember he was the first double champion.
Yeah, he was,
He was the first guy to do
You
it.
can't take it from him. Right?
No,
he won a
the
championship.
guy's incredible.
So he had
He's
the
a very
featherweight.
good
He's
fighter.
also, I believe, a mentally ill jerk, but
Well,
but
fame does that to people.
he did
And
come
you're-
from
is
he
an
did
in-
come
an
from
interesting
nothing though.
environment.
He did come from nothing to build
Well, that's the
himself
one
up.
interesting thing. If you look at a lot of the top fighters, a lot of them came from really rough backgrounds.
Yeah,
you
oh,
don't
yeah.
see these elite trainers that have been training since they were 2, and in special camps. No, you see people that have been struggling.
Yeah.
that put it together, got just the right mentor. And the
You
right
also
kind
have
of
guys
space,
that
and then they went out.
Wonder Boy, who did
Wonder
come up.
Wonder
Who did
Boy.
come up.
Did you see his new video?
True. No, I did not.
Which one?
He brought back the glasses.
Yeah.
So so basically he has these glasses that can blind you, like blindfold you. Basically, it's like
Oh,
a
okay.
glasses version of a blindfold, but it can do like flashes. So he did an original video with them where it goes like obscures and then lets you see, obscures and then lets you see, back and forth, and he had to block something that was being thrown at you, but it was like flashing in front of your face, so you only were getting glimpses of it as it was flying at you. In his latest video, he used those same glasses but just kept it in blindfold mode and then did a sparring match.
How'd that go?
I didn't watch it all the way through yet.
I saw him and
Sensei
his
Seth was
brother-
in it too.
I saw him and his brother testing front kicks versus side kicks.
yes.
And
Oh,
his
yeah,
brother's
that's a
a
good
big
video.
dude.
His
Oh,
brother's
yeah,
very
yeah.
big.
He's-
That's
he's
why. Well,
Good
remember what we
fighter
said.
too, apparently, but never wanted to actually.
Go professional.
Well, remember
Apparently
what
in the training
we
group,
said
he's
is that in the weight cut video, he was cutting down to the UFC heavyweight limit.
Yeah.
So
He's
he
a
is
big boy.
above that.
No,
So
it's a big boy.
He's
I
probably
didn't
close
even
to
know
300.
UFC had a heavyweight
I'm
limit.
yeah,
I
it has
thought
a limit. It's how
basically-
high? No.
It was 260 something.
Something is the limit.
Yeah, but he was like above that. So that's
I'm
why he
actually
did the weight
reading
cut
his
down.
other brother's book right now.
His older brother's book, right? So
Yeah.
So you have
It's a sci-fi book.
Yeah, so you have Wonder Boy
Cool.
Thompson. Then you have Sweet Tea, who is a younger brother.
Younger.
Brother. And then you have Wonder Boy's older brother, whose
Evan.
name is
Evan Thompson.
Evan Thompson, and he's an author.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. I'm reading his. I'm reading his sci-fi book right now. Thomas Orbits.
Pretty good.
It's all right. It's gotten better. At first, I was like, but
Slow
now
burn.
it's definitely gotten better. It's weird because I went from reading like award-winning novels. Like I just read like two things that were like one was a Pulitzer, and then it's like now I'm jumping into a sci-fi. That's
Hey, speaking of which, have you guys seen The Acolyte yet?
I have
On my
watched
list.
the
I haven't-
first
I haven't
two
watched-
episodes.
You did?
Yes.
So the first
Don't tell me
two-
nothing.
No, without saying anything.
I haven't watched
The
them yet.
first two are better. I haven't been in a series where it actually got worse.
The first two are better.
The third one
It
takes
got
a
worse.
I did read an
The
article
third
though.
one takes a crazy dive.
I did
don't
read
know
it. I
what
did
it's
read an
doing.
article about
I
how
don't even know if I'm
people
going
were
to bother
upset.
then.
Some people were upset because lightsaber colors don't mean anything anymore because of the acolyte.
I didn't see. Yeah, so only one example is they pull out a yellow one, which you know is the Guardian lightsaber
Yeah.
sword, but
Well,
it does a
it-
regular guy using
Well,
it.
he could be. We don't know.
No,
You know,
but they
Yeah,
so the whole
he's not.
article is written on the fact that like basically the tone they're taking with is nobody really cares about the colors. It was just
There for show.
they're just there for
Well,
show.
once again, Dave Filoni had no hand in this show whatsoever.
Which you're
So
like,
we all know that it's going to be crap. Like it's going to be terrible. And
I
apparently
mean,
it hasn't.
I didn't think the first two episodes were horrible. I'm like, okay, it's an okay build. I
It
was
was
upset
alright.
that again. We're trying not to ruin it for Dave, so I'm not going to say anything.
I don't know if I ever get around to watching it,
But-
but
I don't know.
Well,
if I'm
they
even gonna bother
eliminate
finishing
they
it.
eliminate main characters right off the bat in the first. Like
Can you even call them main characters? There was no character development for them at all.
yeah. Well,
It's
they're
like, hey, this is this person's name.
they're
Dead.
backfilling into them now.
Yeah, exactly. That's the weird
backstory.
thing. Is that
But
they're not-
even the backfill is really just poorly done, in my opinion. Like already, and I'm just like, and I wanted to.
I heard something.
I wanted it to be good. I'm like, oh, it might. I think.
Yeah,
it's,
I had.
dude, episode 3 is even. Really
I had heard
rough.
something.
I didn't have a problem with 1 and 2. but
I had
this
heard
was bad.
something because I subscribe to Star Wars Theory on YouTube,
Mhm.
the biggest Star Wars content creator on YouTube right now, and I didn't watch the video, but the title of it clued me into something that I guess they're going to be exploring in the Acolyte, or they have in episode 3, and it turned me off to the show right off the bat.
I mean,
I was like, nope, I'm
episode
done.
3 is a story, so they go back in time and tell the story.
Oh, so it's like I'm assuming. I think I know what they would flash back to.
They're
I know.
flashing back to the issue that
The issue at hand? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
like,
okay.
I just feel
when did they
The
die
inciting
and get
incident, so to
separated?
and
speak.
I've hit this point many times, but I feel like they're oversaturating. There's just too much. There's just, it's
But
just
also,
too much.
not only that, I think they have too many people telling the story. It's like
There's too many visions. When it was just
Yeah.
George Lucas, it was one singular vision, one singular guy coming up with the story. Yes, there were some things that some people didn't like about the prequels and stuff like that, but at least it wasn't this whole big
and I
convoluted different
understand
versions.
that Acolyte is supposed to be its own animal. I get it. Like the argument is, this is not tied to anything else other than it's in the Star Wars universe. It's its own animal.
Well, it
but
takes
doesn't
100 years.
Follow.
It takes place 100 years before
But
the events of Revenge of the
what
Sith.
stinks is even though it's not connected to it, it is in the Star Wars universe, and so far, it doesn't. Other than the Force existing
And the Jedi being
the
a thing.
Jedi being something,
Yeah.
they don't follow any actual kind
So-
of path
So
yet. It's early.
So
still,
what I noticed with these extended universe things, Marvel, Star Wars. So, I'm an avid anime fan, and I've been very into One Piece.
Yes.
Right?
I never knew
And
that.
what I like about
No
One
way,
Piece
man.
as I'm getting more and more into it is the way the creator Oda
Never ends it?
built. No, it's actually coming to an end. It actually is coming to an end. But as long as it is, so I am almost 700 episodes in. The continuity of the story,
Well, you told me they pull things back from like,
but it
season
never,
2.
but it never doesn't make sense. And his world building is the best out of any anime I've watched. I think probably ever, because even if you can do offshoots, right? Because there are times I can do offshoots in story.
It's true.
It all
ties
and makes sense.
and that's important.
and they
In a
do
good
it in a
story.
way where I feel like what Star Wars misses out on sometimes is like it doesn't all make sense sometimes.
No.
It doesn't all click together. It doesn't,
'Cause once
you know,
again,
and there's no large overarching. So like
Not
in one-
anymore.
so without spoiling anything, one of the big things in One Piece is that there's a void century. So there's 100 years, nobody knows what the hell happened.
Okay.
So part of it, when everything else is going on, part of it is exploring
what happened?
what happened. Right? So even when they do offshoots of things and like timelines.
So it's like a gap in like history recordings. Like it just wasn't
it's a gap
recorded.
in history recordings.
So okay, so
Nobody knows what happened.
and nobody's alive from that time period anymore.
The only people that know what happened, nobody's alive in that time period, but the only people that know what happened in that time period is obviously how it's kicked off with Gold Roger, like the guy that kicks off like everybody looking for his treasure, the One Piece.
Right, the One Piece.
Him and his crew know what happened.
And they're still alive.
No. Well, some of the crew's alive. He's dead.
Yeah, Gold Roger
But
gets beheaded.
that's
in
how the show
beginning of
starts off with him
getting
being beheaded.
Yeah.
How did I miss that? Okay.
But so when they do offshoots and different things, it all still ties and makes sense to a larger overarching story where you're like, so the Void Century is like 800 years before
Yeah, but
One
what are the
Piece.
fruits called again?
Devil Fruits.
Yeah, they don't mean anything. Just make them random. It's fine.
No, they actually explain them too.
I know.
throughout the story.
I get
That's the
it, but I'm
point,
saying
yeah.
it's like you have these things that have meaning, and then all of a sudden you have a storyteller that comes in and is like, it's fruit.
And that's
It's fruit.
and
It's
that's
fruit.
well, and that's the thing is like when they're going back and they're changing things that used to mean stuff in Star Wars, like the lightsaber colors used to mean
They still
something.
do.
What's crazy is
To me, they still
I'm
do.
surprised they never really built off. You could have built the entire series off of the lightsabers and what they represent themselves,
Yeah.
right? Right, like having the green where you even when Luke transitions from was it green to blue or blue to green? Green to blue.
Blue to green.
Blue to green.
Well, technically,
So-
the
No,
blue wasn't even his. Technically,
Yeah.
The blue was his
was that? Is that?
His dad's.
Blue's more of a fighter, where green is more of a heavier force
Blue
user.
Yeah, blue was said to be someone that had a better connection to the unifying force. Green was the living force.
But in that unifying force, you're more of a
Well, yeah, because
combatant.
unifying force, you're the
yeah.
connections between living beings. So obviously, who's more connected than two people in a fight? So
And the other thing people are laughing about is how they've changed throughout the like. Okay, I'm gonna add a Darth Maul with the double lightsaber, and
that
they've
made people
changed.
go crazy in the Phantom Menace when
Right.
that first came
Now
out.
they have the whip lightsaber.
Yeah, no, that actually no, that
Was
a thing.
previously. Well, it was previously a
Where
thing.
was the
in-
whip lightsaber? Where did I
in
miss
in the now non-canon books.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
they just basically took something from non-canon,
And then-
which really Disney. There's so
Well,
many other
in
things
the,
you can take from non-canon except for just that.
in
like,
the
come on.
game, they had the lightsaber tonfas,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
In Force Unleashed, but did they ever they never canon Force Unleashed though, because it was like an acolyte to Vader, which I wish they would have because the actor's alive and they could have brought him in.
Sam Witwer literally
Yeah.
could be
Star
everything.
Kill-
There's
he was
so
Star
much
Killer.
you have
He
to-
was Star Killer, yeah.
There's so much you have to know
Did you
about
hear
Star
how he
Wars
got that
to, like,
role?
watch Star Wars.
How do you get the role?
He out-geeked Dave Filoni in Star Wars.
Oh, really? They just sat there and like went to town on facts.
No, it wasn't even that. But actually, it wasn't even just that. I'm sorry, I'm misremembering things. So there was in an interview, he was asked, "Okay, so how'd you get that role of Star Killer? Like, how did that come about?" And he said, "Well, I'm been a fan of Star Wars since I was a kid," and he did the audition. Like he heard there was this new video game coming out for this, character called Star Killer who's going to be Darth Vader's apprentice, and he was like, "I want
Want it.
this."
Yeah.
So he went. He auditioned. The audition scene. You played the game, I assume.
Both, yeah.
Me too. The audition scene for Star Killer was the beginning, the meditation scene where he's forming his lightsaber in the beginning of the first
Yep.
one. That was the audition scene. And he did it differently from everybody else. Everybody else, they were meditating.
Okay.
Him, he had like
frustrated.
this, like he was like, it looked like he was straining, like there was
Which makes sense. You're
concentrated effort.
Vader's apprentice.
And you know what happened? Like that was too funny because they were sitting there, and it wasn't Dave Filoni that asked, but he was in the room, and I think it was the casting director asked him, like, "Hey, look, I just got to ask, like, what's the choice
What's the
behind
struggle?
the way you're like, what is the choice behind how you're meditating?" And he said, Well, he's an apprentice to Vader. Vader's never taught this guy how to meditate.
No, and
Vader
Vader's
never
not in
taught
a good
this guy.
spot right now himself.
Vader never taught him how to center himself and find the Force. Like, no, he's taught him hate, anger, aggression, frustration, and using it to his advantage. So of course his meditation is just going to.
And if you keep in
look
mind in
like
the
it.
beginning when they're learning, they're feeding off of their master. So if he's feeding off of Vader, he's
Yeah.
only grabbing rage anyway.
Exactly. And
it's a
then
struggle.
he said that, according to Sam Witwer, he said that Dave Filoni like was just like looking at him, just going like this, just not. And then
Sold.
literally after that, like a couple hours later, got the call. He had the part, and that was it.
Have you played either game yet, Dave?
Not really.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the other thing.
It plays like a glorified hack and slash, but it is really well written. The story.
It is.
I can
have to
watch
check it out.
that
I can't
movie.
remember
So
the
my-
moment. I have to look it up
I
where
have
he
to-
outgeeked Dave
I
Filoni.
have
He
to
said that in
go-
another interview where he said that he actually like there was something in the script that Dave Filoni had written that ended up being like it would have made a plot hole, and Sam pointed it out, and he was right.
I
Like,
just-
I can't remember what it is though. I
I
have to look it
struggle
up.
when universes get too big.
Yep.
I mean, that's really like. I struggle when they get too big.
Did you see the?
Because it's too it's too much for me, number one, and then number two, I do not like it's canon, it's not canon, it's this, it's that, this is not canon. I don't like it. It drives me crazy. Either this is part of the universe or don't make it. Like I just struggle with that.
or identify very clearly like the What If series. Like I like that, right?
Yeah,
I
the
like
What
that.
If series are okay.
Oh, I like them because you know
But-
you know you're going
Or
into
in
it.
Going into
or
it
in
with-
DC,
Will go nowhere
or
other than
in
this.
DC labeled as Elseworlds.
Elseworlds.
Like this is
They
not
have an Elseworlds.
the
I just-
actual story.
When universes get too big, I shut off. I'm just like, nah, I don't have time for this. It's too much. You know what I mean?
So going into that direction, I was going to ask, did you watch the most recent Venom trailer?
Yes.
Yes.
So you see how they kind of blotched the end of the Spider-Man, whatever it was, where they capture the piece in the bar,
Yes.
and then that
Well-
ruins their tie-in to Marvel
Well,
if it happens to be in the
But
same
that was in
bar.
that universe, right? That was still in that
We
universe.
don't
So that
know
symbiote piece is
yet.
still there
No,
somewhere.
We don't know yet. We don't know if they captured it from a version of the bar that happened to be in the Venom universe, or if somehow they combined the two things and just basically killed their backstory for.
I didn't
Marvel
even.
does.
Yeah.
I'm done with them anyways. So.
You know what's interesting is
and then they have him dancing again. Why do they have to make Venom dance?
well, this is his
Why?
last one too. Tom Hardy's.
But I'm saying
Done
there's
with
a
it.
scene
Yeah.
where he's
After this.
dancing again. Why do they insist on making him dance? They're doing the Thor effect. They're making him too funny.
Right.
He's not funny at all in the
Well,
comics.
there are times where he's goofy, but
No, he's not
there have
goofy.
been.
He's
There's-
ignorantly funny in
Yeah.
being direct with his approach, but he's
Well,
not
but
straight up funny.
But this whole Venom universe that they created with in the Venom movie already was off because without Spider-Man,
I know.
In
You
the
don't-
original plot line,
you
yeah,
don't
There is a
have-
lot. There is a
you don't
lot of
have
Venom.
Venom.
There's a lot of Venom spin-offs though, where there
No,
is no
but-
Spider-Man. But the initial
it always
intro
starts
was
with
Spider-Man.
because that's why he has spider abilities.
But if you look, the only ability does he shoot? He doesn't shoot webs or anything in this one.
not in the Sony version
no,
No.
So
because they didn't go that
that's
route.
what I'm saying. So they didn't give him anything. They didn't give
No,
him.
I
They
know.
didn't give him the suit, and they didn't give him any web shooting abilities at all. He only has straight up symbiote abilities.
Which is I don't like it.
No. But I'm saying at least they didn't magically give him Spider-Man abilities.
Right.
He didn't get it, and it's legitimate because there was no way for him to get it.
But that's always been a part of what
What
made
would be
Venom,
interesting?
Venom.
What would be interesting if they gave it to him now because he's been in the universe. He was able to connect with the symbiote from the Spider-Man universe. If he now develops spider abilities, that would have been a smart turn
Maybe.
because they could
Maybe.
have given it to him because now he's had access to those memories because they're supposed to be able to connect with each other within
I
seconds.
don't understand Sony's like
Anything sounds good. Yep, I agree.
their design. Like I did not watch Madam Web yet. It's on
I
Netflix
did.
now.
Yeah, apparently
It's-
it was like the #1 watched movie on Netflix.
Yeah,
for the
because
world. How?
I'll tell you how.
Because you're wondering how.
Because this
how is it
always
that-
happens.
It's wonder,
Nobody
it's
sees it in
wonder.
the theaters because like I'm not going to spend money on that, and then it comes out on Netflix.
They
and
have
like,
to see if it's good or
all
not.
right,
Yeah.
let's see what this is about. Right, this was garbage. But Netflix does not report
bad.
any statistics. They just tell
Oh,
you,
they don't report
it's
how
number
long
one.
they watched it for.
What's interesting too is you can give the double thumbs up, the single thumbs up, or a thumbs down, but then they don't
Right.
actually report on it.
No, actually,
They have
because
it.
stand-up comedians talk about the fact that like they are not told any of the numbers on their special. All they're told is, "Hey, it's doing really well," or that's it.
But what's interesting is how do you base your pay then on its success?
Well,
like you would
that's the
any other
problem for
movie, yeah.
negotiating. It's smart on Netflix's
Oh
part.
yeah, because they just can
'cause-
give you a flat rate done. I don't
But
care
like
how
these
it goes.
comedians now, they're just releasing things on YouTube. They get all their metrics, so they know how well it's doing. They know.
Yeah,
'cause-
exactly.
And they're doing really well. Some of them just releasing.
movies,
they're just
you
releasing their
mean
stand-up.
YouTube Plus or whatever it is.
no, not even that.
No, just on regular YouTube.
Unpaid.
They release it for free,
For free.
and
Okay.
it booms their stand-up career
Wow, that's cool.
because people can get
Matt
it for
Rife.
free.
Matt
they
Rife
see it.
is the biggest one doing that right now.
The biggest one was Ari Shafir, believe it or not.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't know it started on YouTube. Oh, that's
No,
what
he
the
didn't start on
explosion,
YouTube.
Though, was
He
on YouTube?
released his last special on YouTube, and it was massive.
So now I guess the follow up is stadiums or theaters saying, "Hey, I can fill up a room because look at my following."
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Kevin Hart did it.
Yeah.
when you could actually say like, "I've had 12 million views," you don't know. Netflix doesn't tell you. You don't know how many people. You have
don't
no
know.
We don't
idea.
know. We don't know the strategy behind it, right? Netflix.
Yep.
has
Well,
been
it's a
ahead
lot
of
of
the
it's
game
a lot
for
of it, so
some
you
time
can't
now.
negotiate. You can't say like, "Hey, look, my last special cleared 14 million. I'd like more money for my." You know what I mean?
I
Like,
get it.
yeah, no, you did all right. You did good.
Yeah, you're fine. Here's your flat rate. Be
Yeah,
happy.
Yeah,
with it.
exactly.
It's too stupid.
That is so funny. It's listen, the business strategies out there. You got to keep, and no one's right or wrong. Everybody's fighting for their piece of the pie and to keep their piece of that pie.
Yeah, do it your
So,
way. Go ahead.
If you can negotiate some details out of it, great. If not, well, there you go. That's what it is. So that's funny. But the Madam Web, by the way,
Yeah, I didn't think it was worth it.
I watched it.
Yeah.
Just the same thing.
Yeah,
Just the
just
I want
curiosity.
to see it.
I mean, I'm going to watch it out of curiosity, but I know I'm going into it. I'm going to be angry.
I'm not going to watch it
I don't know
because
enough
why put
about
myself
Madam
through that?
Web
Why waste
to
that time?
tie in the three pieces of it that may have almost made sense. And then the rest of it was just like a drag of a movie.
Oh, yeah, I'm
it
sure.
was just like, why? The main villain was not great.
I feel like they always mess up. Like they did that when they did Morbius.
Mm-hmm.
Again, how do you do a Morbius without all the supporting characters that lead to a Morbius?
They found a way, and it
Well,
didn't
Well, that's
go
what
well.
I'm saying. I think they forget the value
was the most
of
hated
the
movie.
entire staff. You need more than one character.
Well,
and Madam Web had a couple,
But
but
I
I,
think
feel
they
like they
forget-
couldn't really develop.
I think they forget that the reason people like all these characters is because there's source material, and if you adhere to the source material that made sense.
Not to mention,
Well,
you
you know
see
what?
how they're trying to turn all of Spider-Man's villains into anti-heroes. I know
Oh,
Venom
yeah.
actually does turn
yeah,
out
Venom
becoming an
does
anti-hero.
eventually turn out
into
to be
an
an
anti-hero.
anti-hero.
But
I feel like in Madam Web, you're not going to watch it.
no,
Their
But he might.
their development of the characters reminds me of the new Ninja Turtle movies, where it's like it's so obvious. Like he's a nerd, he's a computer guy or whatever, and he's the angry one, and he's the leader, and he's the goofy one. But they just throw it down your face. There's no like they evolve into those characters. It's the same thing here. There's no evolution with the characters. Like just this is who it is. In the
Well,
end,
I
I'm
find
like,
it interesting that they're
okay.
introducing Madam Web and all that at Sony, yet there's supposed to be a Secret Wars
right?
at Marvel. How do you do a Secret
They
Wars
make their own Madam Web.
without the Beyonder and Madam Web? Because they played a huge pivotal role in
And the
Secret
Beyonder,
Wars.
did they have the Beyonder at all in
No.
in
No.
any
Not
of the
yet.
Civil
No.
War?
No. It's just source material. You got to go back.
Yeah.
So
no, I just don't
there's-
remember if they passed
there's
them
an
in
anime.
Endgame anywhere.
There's an
like in the
anime called.
background or anything.
There's an anime
No.
called Full Metal Alchemist. One of my favorite animes of all time.
The which one?
So that's where I'm going.
Don't ruin it.
So there's Full Metal Alchemist, and there's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Brotherhood was a good one, right?
So the Brotherhood's the good one. So here's why it's the good one. Full Metal Alchemist was going on at the same time as the author was writing the manga, the comic. The studio,
ahead, right?
the
Yeah.
studio got tired of they caught up to where the comic was.
They Game of Thrones it.
They got tired of waiting, and they said, "We think we know where this story's going," and they took a stab at writing the rest of the story on their own. They were completely wrong, and it didn't make sense. So then,
It was a really
years later, Brotherhood comes out because the comic had finished. It finished its story. and it followed the comic to a T. And people were like, "This is the most amazing thing we've ever watched. It's one of the best anime ever made."
Yeah, Brotherhood's good.
Because
The
it
movies struggle, but
follows
anyway.
the source material. But the movie again was the studio before Brotherhood.
Oh, that's what they were following. They were following.
The movie, the Brotherhood is its own thing.
Yes.
The movie again was that
based off
studio
of
just
the-
making guesses.
Oh,
You talk about the one where they like
the
World War
live action
II.
they just did.
Oh, the live
No, no,
action
no,
has
the
nothing to
live
do with
action, I
anything.
mean.
Yeah, I didn't
the
see the
live-
live
They
action.
made a live action?
Yeah,
Dude, our whole
watch
thing
it.
is watching live action anime stuff. We should watch it.
You should watch it. It's
But-
not. It ends like it
but-
only brings in like 2 or 3
But my
episodes
point,
of it.
my point being, had the
you didn't
studio
know.
waited and followed the source material, they would have had a great product. And I feel like that's kind of what comic book movies are doing now. Is like,
Well,
we're not going to use the source material. We know how to make a story.
I think some of the issues
Yeah.
with Brotherhood too were you have to also
With the
remember-
original, you mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, but with the original was they like the funding is now. Like we're not waiting.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I
so
get
we
it.
don't know though. So it's like give me something or we're not revisiting this.
Right.
Right.
Unfortunately, and then you're forced to jam whatever you know
But-
you can because you don't know what executive.
But I
producers
always
are
feel like
doing.
that's a prime example of like the studio can do the story as well as the person that created the story.
I agree.
And I feel like that's what happens with comic books. It's like, yeah, okay, it's you're doing okay, but like they turned the Marvel universe into a one big arcing story, and now they are struggling after that story ended.
Oh, after the initial
Af-
story that was
after-
actually thought out.
After
yes.
Endgame ended, they're like, you built one story. Now what?
Yep. And it was a great story, and it was a long story, and it tied in amazing characters.
Right.
But you had no strategy coming
For
out of it
after
at
it,
all.
yeah, exactly.
They're even talking about bringing Robert Downey Jr. back.
I said no.
I'm like,
Potentially with Deadpool.
Wow. Yeah. Yep. A teaser with him in it.
Are you going to see Deadpool?
Yeah.
I am
have,
I
definitely-
can't
I have
wait.
to watch
Yeah,
Loki
yeah.
season 2 first because apparently there's going to be things from.
Oh, you haven't seen that yet? It's
I haven't
good.
watched it yet.
It ends
See,
great.
but again-
Loki was a slow burn, but I really enjoyed
But
that
case in point,
series.
I have to watch this before I go see that. It's like,
Yeah, but that's
I
okay.
just
though,
want to go
'cause-
watch a movie.
No, how dare you? No, it's good. Well, listen, The Matrix did
The
that with
MCU
not only
kinda
The Matrix,
ruined
you
that.
had to watch it, get the full story, the movies, the,
movie, the
cartoons, the
cartoons,
comics,
yep.
and the video game
Yep.
to get the full story. So they had a lot going on there, and I followed through. I wanted to see it all, and then they ruined it with the last movie. Whatever.
Yeah, that's what I
What
heard.
a disaster!
We should also do a comic book movie bracket.
Boom. That makes sense to this audience.
Batman Returns. Don't.
Oh God.
No, which is the one? Which is the one with
Flash.
Arnold Schwarzenegger? Which
Batman
one?
and Robin.
Batman and Robin's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the best one.
Everybody
The amount-
chill.
If you count the amount
Everybody
of
chill.
like puns
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger made in that movie about
Cold,
freezing,
yeah,
Everybody
exactly.
freeze.
Not one good piece of acting in this
No.
movie.
George Clooney and Christopher
And didn't
O'Donnell.
the suit have like nipples or something?
All of
What's
them had
wrong
nipples.
with that?
All of them.
Why?
Not the first one though. Not the
No,
ones
no,
with
no, no.
Michael Keaton.
Well, you gotta leave
After
extra
Michael
space
Keaton
in
left,
case it's cold
everything
outside.
had-
Like, well, why?
Like
Because it's
that's-
intimidating. If you're about to fight some
and
bad
you can
guys,
cut glass.
right? And they always did the suit up scene. They always had to have him suiting up.
Yeah, I know. So dumb.
And I love those costumes too because he couldn't turn his head
Ever? Yes.
ever because it was like molded
I loved
rubber.
how Christian Bale's Batman.
The second movie
the
they
second
did. They changed it.
they literally made a pun about that. I thought that was really funny.
I thought his movies were solid. I couldn't stand Bane. Bane
His
was a
was solid.
disaster.
Bane they did wrong.
The first two were good. Bane was a disaster.
Bane they
the first
did
two were
wrong.
good.
No,
Yes, they were.
they weren't.
Bane was.
I
a
could debate
nightmare.
Dark Knight was
I
good.
could debate that
You
all
can lose the debate as much as
day.
you want. It's fine.
Explain to me what
I
was
think-
good other than the Joker. Take the Joker out of it. He played the
Okay,
Joker
well-
well. What was good about that movie?
The first one?
No,
no.
the first one was good.
I said the first two. Yeah.
No. The second one, no good. Other than the Joker.
Two-Face, I thought the way they tied in Two-Face was great.
Excuse my
That's the
problem.
Two of the three main characters.
Two-Face. I thought they did that right. But
Yeah.
No.
But we've talked about this
On
before
a
in the
whole,
podcast.
though, he was a terrible detective. He
Yeah,
wasn't a
we-
detective.
We've said that before.
He
on
was
the
a
podcast.
he was a
We've said
guy
before,
that
yeah.
learned how to fight, and that's all he could do.
No, I agree with you there.
That's
and,
it.
And that
He didn't even make his own gadgets.
that
Lucius Fox
became-
made everything.
That became more prominent
He was an idiot.
later on. Well, even when he fought Bane, he just kind of circled the town hall and ran into the building.
The old
dude.
man had to tell him that the 6-year-old figured out to take the rope off.
That was so funny.
Yeah, good job, Bruce Wayne. World's greatest detective. What do I do? How do I get out
But
of this
that's why we
hole?
like the original
God,
cartoon because of
yeah.
how
Oh God,
close
original
that
cartoon
was
is so
to
good.
the source material.
There was
It great.
supposed to be a new cartoon coming
There
out.
is. It's gonna come out.
Good, because I would like to see it. Isn't Bruce Timm involved in that one too?
I believe so. It's
'Cause he
supposed
was
to be.
in-
The,
yeah.
It's supposed to be the spiritual successor to
Batman the animated series.
Batman the
I
animated
really hope they
series.
do because that was a good show.
I
Kind of like
do-
the way that My Adventures with Superman is.
Yeah, that's a good show. My Adventure Superman. We
Still
still
haven't
watch
seen
it.
it.
Oh my god,
Oh, dude.
it's good.
Don't talk to me about stuff that we haven't watched yet.
Oh
sir.
no. See, if I get to hear
No, I
from you
haven't
guys
seen
about
it,
kung
yeah.
fu movies,
I
then
don't
you're
have
gonna hear
access
about it
to
from
it. I don't have access.
You
to
don't
it.
have access to it. It's on Adult Swim.
It's a
I
Cartoon
don't have
Network.
it. I was on Cartoon Network.
Yeah,
Is it on demand though? Like, can I go and watch on demand or?
yeah. You use the app.
You can even just go on YouTube. I think maybe on YouTube or some other streaming
You just
service.
download
I'm gonna
a
have to rent
Cartoon
it,
Network. Go download the Adult Swim app.
Is there a fee for it?
No,
All right, then maybe I'll do that. Okay.
it's
You
good.
really should watch it. It's a
good.
really good Superman series, and they're taking some different directions with it.
They're
which I
taking
think is
different
really
spins,
cool.
which is nice.
I think, but they're good though. They're good. People are obviously people will be upset because if they're purists, like it's not how the origin goes, and I'm like, good.
They're
I've
taking-
watched the same
killer in
Superman
this
origin
one, or
over and
is
over and over
he
again.
Holding back in this one.
He's developing his powers throughout the series because he's a young Superman.
Yeah,
So they're
this is
copying
taking
Smallville. Perfect. I'll watch it.
But his powers are a
most
little
part.
bit. His
for the most
powers are a
part.
little.
He doesn't
bit,
start off being called the Blur.
no, and his
No,
powers
he's
are a little
called
bit
Superman.
different. Krypton itself is a little bit different.
Yep.
Is it still existing?
Yes. No.
No, the planet itself doesn't
Not
exist.
exactly, no.
But not exactly. But they
It
do.
existed.
Right.
No longer.
But it was not. It was not.
They didn't have it. I don't want to
A
give away
war?
too much.
I don't want to spoil anything. Yeah.
No, I
No.
don't
It
wanna
just
give away
blew
too
up.
much.
They were not a peaceful race.
Yeah, sure, exactly.
Put
Just
it
one
that
day
way.
someone hit the self-destruct button and
Got
Yeah.
it.
They
They,
were-
they,
they-
they Cybertroned it. It was just there's a bunch of civil wars and it blew up.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, kind of. No.
No.
They were more like conquerors.
Don't give away too much.
Well, I mean that does make sense.
We just said we were gonna spoil
you
it.
just went through puberty again. Stop, relax.
There's a great episode though where they
Here we go.
there's a good no I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's a great episode
Tell me
where
what happened though.
they have Mixius Pitilix, you know
What?
the Mixius Pitilix, like the imp,
Yes, who can change reality.
right?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a great
him in it.
episode though where they
He's like the Mask.
he
Just
keeps
do whatever he
changing Superman, like but he's changing him into all different versions of
Of the
cartoons.
cartoons?
So like they had the animated
had
series, they
the
did the old
classic.
classic Superman.
Yeah.
They went through a bunch of different versions of
I love
Superman.
it. I
It's
love it.
pretty funny because he's like, you look like this, you look like this, you look like this.
They should have one time made it like one of the live actors.
I think they did.
They might have. They might
No, I
have.
don't think they did.
It was
I think,
good,
I
though.
think it was a cartoon version of one of them.
Well, they've talked about bringing Smallville back as a cartoon. I think it's a
So,
cartoon.
With the comic, I have the Nicole got
Yeah,
me
yeah,
some
yeah.
of the comics already. So.
Oh, I think I heard Michael Rosenbaum was talking about that on his podcast
Yeah.
once, but I think it fell through.
Oh,
Might
if
have,
he's
yeah.
not Lex Luthor, I don't want to see it anyway.
He's
I think it fell
great.
through.
Michael Rosenbaum's great. He's also the voice.
Phenomenal.
He's also the voice of the Flash
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
in the
Wally
old
West.
Justice League
Yeah,
cartoons.
Wally
Wally
know
West.
that.
Hey,
Yeah.
Bats.
Yeah,
Think you
the
dropped
old
this.
Justice League cartoons. That's
I didn't
him.
know that.
Oh
I
yeah,
gotta go back and listen
big
to it.
nerd, big nerd. Love him.
Awesome. It
But
was
yeah,
so good.
So
though.
he was the
So
Flash's
good.
voice. Michael Rosenbaum.
Yep.
What other topics did we miss? Anything though, Steve? I want to make sure we don't miss anything. You said you had a couple of things.
Well, I mean, the last thing.
McGregor.
Well, yes, we talked about that, but the last thing that I had wanted to just talk about was that we filmed the first of our Gibbet challenges that we said we were going to film. We did it. We finally started it off. So I
Yes.
just wanted to
I
tease
like
it a little
it.
bit on this week the podcast because unfortunately I have had as all of us have, very busy week, and the only day that I had available to me was Wednesday. So unfortunately, video editing
Took a back
sometimes
seat.
cannot be done in one day. So the video is for the most part completed. However, it is not done just yet. So I will be posting it this week, meaning the
And
week
then
of this
pretty
podcast.
soon, our hokey entrance music to be debuted.
I have Hoagie entrance music.
I know that. I want it.
Steve doesn't like it, but I like it.
But we have to debut it.
We can debut it, but we have to film our special intro with it that we talked about, if you remember.
That's fair. We have to
Come
do it,
on,
like this
you
week.
can't tell me that it doesn't sound like. So for everybody listening,
I like.
we had one of
I
Master
like it.
Dave's
It's catchy.
friends,
It is
catchy.
catchy. It's
one
really
of Master
catchy.
Dave's friends who is a music artist, create a theme song for Kickin' and Crocs.
Yes. She's kind of folksy, so it's a folksy kind of song.
It's
And
straight
I
up
thought-
Brady Bunch, folks. You're gonna love it.
I thought that well, I don't want to say Brady Bunch, but I thought it sounded
Brady
a lot
Bunch.
like one of those old school, like Full House.
I
Like, type
love it
of-
because I find it very catchy.
It's very
Steve wants
catchy.
something a little bit more like.
Well, no, just for the outro song.
and I
We'll keep
think
the outro
we
song.
could mix it up, folks. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah, we'll
You
use
know?
we use
Let me
your
mix it
friend's
up.
song for the intro song, and then the one that we have right now
But
for
it
the
can
outro
even be
song.
based on what kind of video it is. Like if it's going to be a general podcast, maybe we use one. But if it's going to be a podcast around like an activity or
Well,
guest,
not a
we can use
podcast.
another
If it's
one.
a general video, you mean?
Yeah, general video. Yeah,
We do other videos, and now especially now we're gonna summer.
It'll-
Summer's great for outdoor filming too.
It sure is.
This week going to be in the 90s.
Yay!
Yes, we know. We're running a
Pools
race
are
on.
open.
We're running a race on Saturday.
Is that just
the
is Alex
90s.
going with you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Why?
No, just checking who I'm going to have. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll be with us.
Okay.
Have fun.
Sounds good. I'll be fine.
It'll be hot, and we're running at like noon.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Is it a Spartan race? or
Kelsey
just a
has
regular
nothing
race?
but wonderful words to say about the
Yeah.
people that are
So
causing
half
us
our
to run at
team.
noon.
So me, Steve, and Kelsey registered appropriately for 9:15 in the morning, and we got our 9:15 in the morning slot. The rest of our team, however, is at 12:15.
But wait, how many are?
So you're racing twice?
Alex, Scott, Danielle?
Alex, Scott, Danielle, and your two guys from the MMA class all got 12:15.
So are
They
you
did?
racing with
Yeah.
them?
Did they tell you that? Because they didn't tell me
I
that.
thought they told you that.
No,
The rest of us are at
So
9:15.
now
They
you
don't-
have to wait for
they
them,
don't
or
know
you
their
just gonna
times
run
yet.
at 9?
They
No,
didn't
no,
look-
no, 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 no. So we'll wait for them. You can run
Anytime after you.
anytime after your
Oh,
heat.
so now you're going to wait until noon.
Yes.
Well, I have to double check because if our two
Yeah, but you
MMA
already have
guys,
Scott
Joe
at
and
noon, so
if our two guys from MMA, Joe and Jay, have 9 as well, because remember they registered after us,
Yep.
so we might have the majority, folks.
Well, if the majority, we could make an argument supporting for putting our team together, which I don't think they'll do anyway, but because they nickel and dime
good luck
people.
with that. But it's next week, right? This coming.
It's
next
weekend,
a week
yeah.
from tomorrow. Yeah.
So it's going to be at City Field.
or
Actually, it's a
yesterday. A week
stadium.
Yeah, it's a
on.
stadium. So
It's a
we're running.
stadium
We're running through
race.
City Field.
Yeah, it's really
We've done
cool.
it many years, but it's cool.
Even
It's neat.
hotter. Nice. Is this a short race?
Oh
or-
yeah,
Very
Oh, yeah.
short.
because they're
sprint?
inside a
Yeah.
stadium.
The
We can only do so
drive
much.
is like 3 times longer than the actual race.
That's part of the
I wouldn't
race.
I wouldn't go that much because
Yeah.
the race itself takes us what, like just under an hour, I would say,
If that,
just under an hour or so. The drive doesn't take us 3 hours.
the drive. Wow, it's a drive.
It is a
takes
drive.
a
It's
while.
into the city. Obviously.
So one time we drove. My Scott usually drives. My friend Scott, who should get on as a guest. He's fellow motor.
Actually, we should.
Anyway,
I
so
wonder if he'd be willing to. I don't know.
it is
It's
past Scott's
past-
bedtime.
Well, for this, we would have to do it on
But,
a different day, on a Sunday probably.
So
we'd
the
have to do it
first,
when we work
the
out.
first and the second time we drove to City Field for this race, you ever hear the Arby's commercials, where it's like we've got the meat,
Yeah.
like those commercials. He had all of those commercials in audio form, like they're funny, but he had all of them on his phone, looped. So we must have had 25 minutes of just the commercials.
Stop.
I swear to you. Just 25 minutes of different Arby's verbal commercials.
I love that.
Oh,
I don't
it was
know. It's so
amazing.
weird that I love it.
Well, it's like you remember I used to do that with do you remember the Budweiser, Bud Lights, Real Men of Genius? It was first Real American Heroes.
Yeah, but those are hilarious. Those are actual comedy
But
skits.
that's
They're
what
not
the
songs.
Arby's were.
Are they're comedy skits? Like little mini skits?
No,
Some.
no, some. Well, the Real American Heroes was just like, here's to you, Mr. Lawnmower Man.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it just
yeah,
went
yeah.
through. The Arby's ones were like that, but it was just the Arby's guy. It was
Now I want to hear the Arby's.
like
stuff.
25
Look it up.
minutes
Get
of
your
that.
phone there.
Oh, I thought he saved it specifically.
No, he did. He had it specifically on.
But it's a YouTube.
you can
video?
find him on YouTube.
Oh.
You can
No,
find
I
like
want the compilation that he has.
you can find different versions.
Just
on-
tell Scott to send it to us.
Yeah,
I think that
I don't know if
he
he
made
still
that
has it.
compilation himself. Yeah,
I don't know if he
think
still.
he just
I
took
don't know
all
if
the
he still
clips.
has it, but
Oh, he's got it. You don't let something.
Oh,
like
there's
that
no
go.
way he does not have it.
Yeah, you don't let something like that go.
yeah, no. So we like
no
20
way.
minutes for Arby's
I
commercials.
love it. That's our next entrance.
Bum, 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 bum. Kickin in Crocs.
We need to
we
just-
have the Crocs.
we
have the
whole bunch
Crocs.
of
We should
spoof
just do
episodes.
different-
A whole bunch of
Yeah.
spoof
We
intros.
Why
where we just
not?
make fun of stuff. We'll do like the real Man of Genius. We'll do one
Real
like that.
men in Crocs.
Crocs.
Here's to you, Mr. Mosier Lawn and Crocs.
Yes.
So what if you have blades of grass coming out of your
Sticking into
feet?
your foot. Yeah.
Oh, we've got to do that. I like it.
Yes,
Yeah,
we do.
yeah, we could definitely work some of that. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Well, this has been a random podcast about random things.
Never.
No,
we were
no,
right
no.
on.
We have some good topics that I can throw in for the
We
title.
somehow always tie in anime and comics somehow.
Somehow,
Yeah,
it always,
we
it
gotta come
always
up with some new some new
Star
topics
Wars
here.
makes Star
I
Wars
feel
always
like
makes an appearance.
we're
in
getting
there
Wow,
very
somehow.
repetitive,
the Acolyte
guys.
Really, I can't talk about it, which stinks because you've.
Star Wars always
watched
somehow
it.
makes it in here. But
We're
we talk
getting
about
very
about
repetitive.
Arby's
Well,
commercials.
to be fair, I got my Star
We talked about
Wars,
our Arby's commercials. That was in there. We
was in the
talked
zone.
about McGregor pulling out.
That's it. He's out of the fight. He's,
He's
out of the fight.
I can't believe Alex Pereira is fighting again.
Yep. No. Oh,
Give me that back.
I gotta cut that whole thing out now.
No, stop cutting out the only good.
The audio listeners will not understand what's going
I just threw
on.
a shoe at Steve. You're welcome. Now you understand. All right, continue.
I can't believe Alex Pereira is fighting again. There's that.
Look on his face.
McGregor's leaving.
I can believe it.
I can believe that.
It.
Yeah.
That was so obvious. The fact that folks thought it was still going to happen after the press conference, it was such a real far grab and a hope.
Well,
Yeah.
But
Well,
we
I'm
knew
still
it was
gonna
gonna
order
happen.
the fights because
well,
I like
obviously
to
we're
watch
fight
them.
fans. We like to watch the
Oh, no,
fights.
But
I mean, the rest of the
we didn't even
the
go over.
card
The, we didn't even go
artists.
over the card.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll do it next podcast.
Yeah, we'll have to go over it.
What day is the UFC
The
303?
29th.
Okay, we got
So we
time.
have
Then
time.
next week's podcast. Next week is our Father's Day episode. Actually, no, this was the Father's
No,
Day episode.
This was the Father's
Oh,
Day
shoot.
episode.
have to do it. We'll do
Well,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
part will be cut out. We'll edit
Yeah.
some stuff right there. Oh shoot, we should have talked about that.
That's okay.
Restart. No, okay. Okay.
Yeah, let's say this for next week. We just do a Father's Day episode right now on how great fathers are. It's facts. You can talk.
We can talk about it next week. We'll make next week.
First, this is your first Father's Day.
It would be, yeah.
How did we miss this? How did we miss this?
Come on. Okay, we'll have to.
We have to
We'll
keep
have
all
to do
this.
that
All
next
has
week.
to stay right in here.
Yeah. This is next week's topic.
It's a Hallmark holiday. It's not that big a deal.
No, it's a big deal.
I love it because it's for us.
You would.
I would. I don't like Valentine's Day. I pretty much hate most.
He hates Mother's Day.
holidays.
He hates Mother's Day.
I do not at all. I love my mom. Thank you, Nicole. But I do like that.
Nicole's
it's,
not your mom.
for being the mother to my kids.
I love my mom. Thank you, Nicole.
for being a great.
That's
mom
your
also.
wife, sir.
I mean, I don't know. She does have to,
That's your wife,
to,
sir.
My mama.
She does have. Okay, we're stopping. Let's end it right there.
But
Okay, let's go.
With-
If you have not
without
already,
doubt. Roll it over. We'll talk about this.
we
next
will
week.
save. We will save Father. We'll have to talk about what you guys do for your first
We're not
Father's
We're not
Day.
doing anything. I mean, we didn't do that much on Mother's Day except run a race.
I want a full report on how your first Father's Day goes next week.
It's gonna be like any other
Anyways.
Sunday. I don't know why.
No,
We're not
we're
training
having-
on Sunday.
Ours is different.
Kelsey, do we have big plans for Father's Day? See, this is
But
why
you're
I can't-
supposed to set them up.
That's
He's
right.
supposed to do nothing.
He's
You're
got a
supposed to
point.
shoot fireworks from behind the counter as he walks into the kitchen in the morning, and then meal. Work. It's Father's Day. No work on
This-
Father's
this is-
Day.
yeah.
No work on
I told
Father's
you,
Day.
it's just a
That's out of the
Sunday.
picture.
It's just a
That's
Sunday.
out
It's
of the
okay,
picture.
Nick. They're new parents. They're still getting used to this sort of
No,
thing.
I took care of that one quick. I got Father's Day. I'm not doing
sure
it.
you did.
It's the one day a year I don't do anything.
I'm
One
just-
day
as
a
you
year.
should. That's exactly how it should be.
Nothing.
That's how it should be. Anyways,
Nothing.
well, we'll make sure that we talk all about Father's Day, and Nick can regale you with how Father's Day should go, and then you
Yes.
can talk about
Yeah,
how
I'll
Nicole
talk
makes
about-
it
absolutely
very
nothing.
special.
and I'll talk about how it's
And
just another Sunday.
Oh, it's just another
No,
Sunday.
Nicole
It's another
makes it
Sunday.
very, very special. It's
Wow.
great. I do not.
What a lame. I can't, man. Anyways,
I can't.
if
I
you have
can't with
not
Dave.
already, please make sure that you follow us on Instagram at Kickin and Crocs, KICKIN.in.Crocs, CROCS.
I
So
usually
we'll see
get
some
to do
awesome
that,
new
but that's
content that
okay.
we got coming out very soon.
Step on my toes.
Subscribe to us on YouTube if you have not yet already to watch the video versions of this podcast.
Submit some kicks, man.
Please, yeah, actually, we do need more submissions.
Submit some kicks. We got Christian.
Christians can look good.
Yeah,
They
he
look
put
good,
some.
they look
Yeah.
good, not bad. I think everyone should just throw kicks.
Throw some kicks in your Crocs.
In your
Listen,
Crocs.
if you have Crocs, that's preferred. If you wanted to show us some kicks, throw some kicks anyway. But be preferred in Crocs. But
Yep.
throw some kicks. Let's do it.
Steve will CGI some Crocs on your feet.
I'll find a way.
Done.
Yeah.
We'll put it in the top corner.
I'll find a way. But in any event, yeah.
Lots of reviews.
Yep,
when
that-
you're listening, 5 stars. Please share with your friends. Definitely look forward to it. Want to get some more thoughts on what you would like us to talk about regarding Crocs, regarding martial arts, regarding any specific topics that you guys would be interested in. Family friendly, of course. Send it our way.
Yeah, give us some
and we'd love to bring it up.
suggestions, please.
Yeah, we'd
give
love
us
it.
some suggestions because as we just acknowledged in this podcast, we're getting kind of repetitive on the things that we talk about in each podcast.
Well, we need a
episode.
guest. We need
need a
guest.
guest.
And if there's guests that you'd want us to try to reach out
Kelsey.
to, that could actually happen. Like
Kelsey
please-
needs to be a guest.
I recall there's a hashtag wanting that.
What episode number is this?
This is 73.
Episode 100, Kelsey, you're in. It's got to happen.
I thought it was 50.
It was supposed to be 50.
Yeah, and then she abandoned us, but she's going to do it. If she loves me, she's going to be on this podcast.
I guess she
Be
doesn't
careful
love
with
you.
that one.
I guess
That's
she
a
doesn't-
loaded
I
comment.
guess she doesn't love you then.
All right. Well, very
Anyways,
nice,
yep.
Yeah.
Until
Yeah, episode 100. You got a couple
what'd
episodes.
you say?
She said it's going to be a long time. I said episode 100. Yeah, you got some time.
Steven,
Well,
We'll do a grand reveal, Kelsey. It'll be great.
it's true. No one has seen her
you
face
just be
yet.
on the episode with like a mask. Done. Like that's it. She'll never show
We'll
her
do
face.
the voice where it's like, hello, I'm Kelsey.
Yes.
Like the voice. Like,
Her voice don't sound like that.
no, like the old, when they black out somebody.
Yeah,
it's
no, like when a
white
criminal's
face.
being
you want me
interviewed,
to,
you
you
can
want me to
never-
do a voice changer on her
Yeah,
voice.
yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm
I like
saying.
that.
But they've
We
already
should do
heard
that.
her voice, though. They know what she sounds
No, but
like.
if she's here, you have
Yeah.
to blur out her face and the
Oh,
voice.
okay.
Then we
okay.
can have anybody be Kelsey.
That could be funny.
Is it really Kelsey or is
Pull
it
off
not?
the mask and it's just random people every time.
It's like, no! It's not
Playing the
Kelsey
role
this
of
time.
Kelsey is, and we just reveal it out.
No, she's going to be on. She'll do it. She'll do it. She loves me. She'll
You
do
are
it.
very optimistic.
I am.
Until next time, I've been Steve.
Always do.
Still Nick.
And you stay kicking internet.
Yeah.